ask Alice, what does William Ruto stand for? What has he stood for in all his years of public service? What is the one thing that if somebody mentions the name of William Ruto, somebody will tell you? It will probably be corruption, and right now it will probably be wheelbarrow. And therefore, somebody with that kind of record, a record of broken promises, where are the laptops? Where are the stadia? Where are they? The things that he stood up to talk about. What promise has he kept? What has he done for this country? What is the one thing? He's been in public service. Since he left university, he has been in public service. What is that one thing that is his legacy to date? Because now he's telling us about people being jobless. 2013, he didn't know people were jobless. 2014, he didn't know people were jobless. 2015, he didn't know people were jobless. 2016, he didn't know people were jobless. 2017, he didn't know people were jobless. He came back and told us about 1 million jobs a year. Where are those jobs? Jeff, Kenyans might look to you, to this Changa group like Kenyans are fools because they are cheering there. But Kenyans will ask tough questions. Where?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much, guys, for your greatest support. Now, fellow Kenyans, let me first start by appreciating you, because it will be very wrong if we just continue the discussion without appreciating you, saying thank you for the great work that you're doing. Supporting this channel. We are at 20,000. Something that it's very much important to just say thank you guys. Asante sana kwa upendo wenu. Thank you guys for your support, for everything that you're doing, for everything that you've done as far as Bonita Media is Bonita Media's growth is concerned. Now, for the people that are coming for the first time, please let me humbly request you that please don't forget to click the subscribe button, and you can also tell me where exactly you are watching this video from. Within the country, you can tell me which part of the country you're watching from, or just drop me the number of the county where you're coming from at the comment section. And if you're outside the country, you can as well drop me the flag of the country where you belong, and I'll figure it out by myself. Now, let's get into this discussion. And as we continue the discussion, fellow Kenyans, I want us to first listen to this statement that was said by Edwin Sifuna live on Citizen TV, that is on The Explainer, this week that is just ending on Tuesday, concerning everything that is happening in ODM before we get deeper into the discussion. Listen to Edwin Sifuna.
He gets upset when I remind him what the MOU said. They wanted a document that they could then go and, run a PR campaign around and say, oh, tumeungana, we are together. That is not what this document says. This document does not establish a coalition agreement between ODM and UDA. But that's the impression they've been creating. They go out there and say, and I had warned that the PR disaster that was going to come from this was going to be something that was going to be very difficult to manage. Unfortunately, the foremost PR officer for the party is the SG. And that is where I'm saying there's difficulty that has come from this. Recently, we had another meeting, and there was a proposal to have a team to review the implementation of this MOU. I have asked respectfully that I be left out of that team, because I have already declared this MOU dead. I have already done so publicly. So there is no point. I'm not a mortician. There's no point of me going to go through a document that I've already declared dead. And the reason I declared this MOU dead is because the initial argument for entering into this MOU was twofold. First of all, it was for the sustenance of life. For the sustenance of life, that we were losing people unnecessarily. That can we all agree that this is not something we need to continue doing? We need to stop killing our people. That was the first argument. The second argument was the sustenance of the democratic state. So Ruto is getting his end of the bargain, because the democratic state is being sustained at least until 2027. But our people are not getting there. They're still being killed. So on the day that Albert Ojwang dies in a police cell, to me, this agreement is dead, because it doesn't matter what else you do, Albert will not be able to enjoy that.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Have you told this to your party leader? I
have spoken with Baba. I have explained to him my frustrations, the difficulties of having to explain what we are doing with this rogue regime, the confusion that has come upon my mind, because this is not what I was taught. Me, I don't know how I can explain. Because I've told you I've only known one leader. I've only known one political party. I know what this party stands for. So every time there is things that are at odds with what I have been taught, have been conditioned to believe, then the confusion becomes too much for me. So I have expressed that.
And what does he say in response?
So there is many private conversations, the details of which that I cannot share. But for you and your viewers, just know that there is nothing that I can say publicly that I have not said privately to my party leader.
Have you ever been contacted by President William Ruto on any issue relating to this broad-based working arrangement?
No. I don't even have William Ruto's number, and he can't call me. Because if I don't have your number, you can't call me.
Now, after listening to Edwin Sifuna, I want to tell you something. There is something that is going on in ODM, and Oburu Oginga ni kama anaingizwa box na wale watu ambao wanataka sana kufaidika kwa ODM. Those who knows very well that there is nothing they can do without the support of the government, or maybe without the support of anybody, or those who wants to eat in ODM, those who want to use ODM's name to eat from the government, are really fighting Edwin Sifuna. Because they know very well that if there is one person who is standing for the truth, who have been standing for the truth in ODM, then it is Edwin Sifuna, because he looks at the way things are moving on, he looks at the way things are, and he says things as they are. Now, there is a letter just immediately after the interview. There is a letter that Oburu Oginga wrote, and I've been asking myself that Oburu Oginga, why is it that you can't just communicate to Edwin Sifuna directly? Because after all, he is your ST. You are the party. You are the interim party leader. So why can't you just call Edwin Sifuna, talk to Edwin Sifuna direct, badala ya kuandika barua mingi kwenye social media, and this is what the letter says, that fellow members of the Orange Democratic Movement, supporters and the public, I have taken note of the Tuesday's 3rd February 2026 interview by our Secretary General Senator Edwin Sifuna on Citizen TV and the public discourse that has followed. First, as the party leader of ODM, I'm discharged with responsibility to oversight and steer the leadership of the party and its mandate in the national interest and sustainability of our beloved party. In this capacity, I would like to state that ODM is a democratic movement that accommodates debate and internal discourse. That said, it is important to address certain concerns. In recent months, the Secretary General has occasionally struggled to distinguish between his personal opinions and official party policy as determined by our constitutionally mandate organs. This has understandably created confusion among members and supporters. ODM policy is not shaped by individual preference. It is the product of structured deliberation through properly constituted party organs. When Senator Sifuna questioned the legality of some national officials on the basis that they were elected by the National Government Governing Council, he overlooked a fundamental fact. He himself was elected Secretary General by the same organ in February 2018 and discharged to the functions of that office fully and effectively until February 2022, when the National Delegate Convention subsequently endorsed him. One cannot selectively invalidate the very processes that conferred legitimacy upon oneself. It was also difficult not to note that contradiction in the Secretary General position regarding pre-coalition negotiation in July 2025. On the same public platform, he expressed the view that ODM could not afford to wait until 27 to deliberate on its post-election strategy. Today, he questions the urgency of initiating discussion with potential pre-election partners. As a responsible political party preparing to form the next government, we must plan ahead. Strategic engagement is not panic. It is prudent, and democratic space does not equal chaos. Let it also be known that frequent reference to other coalitions and not ODM is a concern and needs to be keenly mitigated on. In the interest of the country, I think this one now is not that much important. But I wanted to bring something home. That You know, a lot of people doesn't understand that the reason why unaona Oburu Oginga anapigana sana is really fighting to be the party leader of ODM is this. Gazette notice number 1157, the Political Parties Act, Cap 7D, change of political parties officials. In the exercise of the powers conferred by Section 21C of the Political Parties Act, the Registrar of Political Parties gives notice that Orange Democratic Movement ODM intends to change its party officials as follows. Designation, former officials, current office. Designation, we have got party leader, former official Raila Amolo Odinga, the late. Current official Oburu Oginga, Doctor. Deputy party leader Wycliffe Ambetsi Oparanya. Current official Abul Somad Sherif Nasir. Deputy party leader operations Ali Hassan Joho. Current officials Paul Simba Arati. Deputy party leader former Akukwa Nayo. Right now we have got Godfrey Otsotsi. National chairperson John Mbadi, former. Current Gladys Nyasuna Wanga. Deputy chairperson strategic and political Paul Simba Arati, former. Right now Paul Otiende Amolo. Now I want us to understand something here, that the reason why you're seeing Oburu Oginga really fighting so hard to make sure that he is named the party leader. Actually, from the look of things, he is really pressurizing on that, is because anajua vizuri kwamba once he is named the party leader of ODM, is the person now to take charge, is the one now to say what is to be done, what needs not to be done. In fact, is the one now to make calls. Ndo maana unaona is really working so hard, analazimisha vitu. Anasema kwamba Edwin Sifuna hizi akazuia, hizi akapressurize kwamba hizi akasema kwamba watu hawapaswi kusema kwamba yeye ni chairperson, yeye ni party leader of ODM until NDC is done, is formed. Yet wakati ambapo alikuwa anachukua ushukani back in 2018, alichukua ushukani and then he was endorsed in 2022 during the NDC meeting. So according to Oburu Oginga anajua vizuri kwamba if he does a mistake na achilie mambo, then the benefit that is going to ile biashara ambayo anataka kufanya na William Ruto, he will not be in a position to do that. So that is why unaona everything is happening. That is why he's pressurizing everything just to make sure that he prevents all these things, and he makes it tough for people like Edwin Sifuna from making any call in ODM. I really don't know what you think. That is just my thought, and I also like to know what you think in the comment section, fellow Kenyans. But please don't forget to click the subscribe button. You can as well, like you can share. Drop me your comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think and where exactly you are watching this video from. Until we meet again, I've been your host, Boniface Sifuna. Bingo.
The season of shadow boxing in the Orange Democratic Movement Party is fast graduating to a full-blown bare-knuckle showdown. In a quick rejoinder to the sentiments made by his Secretary General Edwin Sifuna during an interview with Citizen TV on Tuesday, Dr. Oburu Oginga called out Sifuna saying, quote, "In recent months, the Secretary General has occasionally struggled to distinguish between his personal opinions and official party policy. This has understandably created confusion among members and supporters." Oburu revisiting Sifuna's remarks, which he says misled the public, especially in regard to the legitimacy of his position as party leader, saying, quote, "We want to state categorically that all party officials are serving substantially and supported by party organs' resolutions." Oburu then called out Sifuna's remarks as doublespeak, claiming he too took over office in the same fashion in 2018 before he was installed officially by the party's National Delegates Convention in 2022. The ODM party leader saying one cannot selectively invalidate the very process that conferred legitimacy upon oneself. Sifuna had faulted the process of picking Dr. Oburu as the party leader, saying it was unconstitutional. The Siaya senator then concluded by cautioning the Nairobi senator, saying democratic space does not equal chaos, warning him that he cannot have his cake and eat it. For months now, the two top leaders have read from different scripts, recently on the question of who is the ODM presidential flag bearer.
And that presidential candidate is clearly stated in the constitution of our party, and it is the party leader, and it is the party leader speaking. I am the presidential candidate for ODM if ODM decides that it goes it alone.
Do you know, Yvonne, some of them have had people saying here that the party leader is the automatic presidential candidate. That is not what the constitution of ODM says. The constitution of ODM says the party leader shall be the person who was the presidential election in the previous election.
These, as the Registrar of Political Parties, John Cox Loreno Coe, gazetted the notice of the ODM party's intention to change its top leadership as effected in November during the ODM Jamboree in Mombasa County, calling on the public to give its views within the next 7 days. Emmanuel Toh, Citizen TV.